Boom, and we're rolling. What's going on? My name is Ugo Opara. I am a PA licensed real estate agent and also a Philadelphia real estate investor. What's going on, everybody? This video was supposed to have come out last week. The goal for this video was for it to have come out. The sheriff's sale for me was at 6/17th, and my goal is to try to get it out sometime this week. And it just didn't happen. So my humble apologies. But what matters is that the video is coming out right now, and appreciate you guys for tuning in. So let's talk about what's on the agenda today. Today, I really just want to go over my escapades on the 17th, how that went down. I will apologize up front. Um, it was not a full day the way I wanted it to. And I'm kind of happy it's not a full day because there's no way to physically record the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go over bits and pieces of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop it up and really talk about certain things, mainly for those of you who have never gone to a sheriff's sale. So you kind of have an idea of what is going on. Then we're going to talk about some of the updates I made to my spreadsheets. We're going to review another video that I recorded with me actually going out and looking at properties. And then we're going to talk about money orders because I ran into a person who it was their first time going to a sheriff's sale, and homie had no idea that he had to bring money orders. He thought he was just going to pay cash or write a check or whatever the case may be. So I just want to make sure I reiterate on that. And let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be a long video. I apologize ahead of time, but let's go ahead and pull up the video and get into play mode. So in this video, you got me over here in case you, for whatever reason, didn't know what I look like. And then you got my little broski who clearly needs a haircut. Um, don't tell him I said that. I love him dearly. But I do my best to, when I got into real estate, I really just kind of stood by myself, really didn't do anything. But for 2018 and beyond, I've been trying to really push forward and make sure that my family is engaged and they understand what's going on. And even if they don't dive into real estate 100%, at least they have the ability to pick up a property or two in cash flow while they still do whatever it is that they want to do. So I brought my brother along. To check it out, and I was really impressed. I mean, he picked up on things right away, super quickly, and you'll see that, you'll see. So let's go ahead and just start.
2,000, 2,100,
Let's go ahead and start all over.
1,600, 1,600 going once, 1,700, 1,800, 1,000 up front, 6,000,
We don't do sign.
5,000, 16,800, West Erie, 16,800, 16,900, 17,000, $18,000. Now I have 18. Going once, going twice, sold. $18,000. Sir, your name? Sir, I need your name. Jose, thank you. With number 75, 12.
So you hear him say writ number 75. So what that means is, let's go to sheriff's sale and pick a property. So if you've seen my other videos, you'll understand that the sheriff sale is organized in books and then organized in writs, right? Let me try. It's not loading for whatever reason. Show history. So here we go. We got a book. The book just says the year and then the month that it initially hit the sheriff sale. So this one hit the sheriff sale originally on 2018, and then 01, which was January, and it was 086, right? So this is something you're going to hear about in my video. So
11 West, 16,800. West Erie Avenue. Open bids $1,500. Can I get a West?
I can't.
16,000 West. Okay, thank you. Come forward. Thank you, sir. Come forward. Quiet, please. I like his style, personally. I wish you all would do that. Okay, we're at number 76.
So writ number 76, right? So they don't talk about the book because after a while you'll just know that you're on 1801. Like I'm going to the February one, so that's going to be 1802. So they're going to, and when they first start the serve sale, they're going to talk about, they're going to start in the order of the oldest book and writ number. Oldest book and writ number would be, for example, if they had something that came out for 2015. 2015 would be 1511 or something like that. Let me see if I can pull up my drive. I guess it's better if I show you guys my drive. I hate the way that Google sets it. And it helps to be very organized, guys, as you guys can see. So let's go ahead and do January 17th. So for example, for this, the ones that I was looking at, see how 1511 is the oldest writ number that I have. So if I'm at the sheriff's sale, automatically, and I know the number that's going to come the quickest is 1817 because that's my oldest writ number. I mean book number, right? And that means in 2015, November of 2015 was when this thing first hit the market. And that's it. So and then they go in order. So he goes from 15 to 17, and then it goes into 18. So once it hit 18, it's just whatever. You know, we already know what the number is. But up until it gets to 18, they're gonna announce 1511, writ number, blah 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 blah, 1702, 135. You know what I mean? Well, this isn't in order. They'll do 025, they'll do 25, then they'll do 38, then they'll do 63, then they'll do 135. Like they'll do all of they'll do all of it because it's all 1705 or 1707, whatever it is, but they go in order. So what I normally do before I go is I'll organize my writ number in order of, you know, descending order. So it automatically, this is actually in order. I didn't see the 7070s. It's in order. So I just organize it in order so I know that as they're calling the houses out, I know that I can keep track based on the number, and that's based on the book and the writ. Um,
Quiet, please. 1827 Barrington Road, postponed to March.
Postpone to March.
1877.
So postpone to March. That's a good information. So postpone just means that, you know, we're not selling it now. We're gonna sell it later. So for example, one of my places is postponed to March. I'm hoping none of you bastards try and bid on me. Um, but Master Street, I really want Master Street. Actually, no, I don't. You guys can bid on Master Street. It got demolished. Um, is postponed to March. Now, I don't even know why I left this on the list because I'm not buying anything demolished, but it's still on the list still. But and it got postponed to March. Postponed to March just means that, you know, it was for sale in January 1801, right, for the book number, but we're gonna push it back to March. So March is gonna be 1803. And this just means that it's gonna get sold in March, hopefully, unless it stayed. So we'll wait for them to say something about stayed, and we'll talk about that.
1469 North Felton Street, open and bids 1,500. Now,
So the opening bid is always going to be 1,500 or 1,500. And really what most people do is they'll say 1,600. In fact, when you see me bid on my properties, I always start out with 1,600. I never have gotten anything for 1,600, but it's just, you know, I try my best not to bid it up. Now, there's some people that do the exact opposite. Opening bid is 1,500, 10,000. I'm just like, mother effer, like, what are you doing? But, you know, that's just what they do. Some people have different strategies, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. In fact, on the last property that I put a bid on, I get outbid ridiculously. Like, you mean my number, I get counted out at 15,000, 16,000, it ends up selling for $46,000, right? I just wasn't, it was out of my league. Um, but the starting bid is always 1,500, and then it bids up by their increments of 100. Um, and that changes based on what number it hits. But let's keep going.
5,000. I'm at 5,000. 5,100. 6,000. 8,000. 8,500. 9,000. 9,500. 10,000.
So one of the things that people do that pisses me off at the sheriff's sale is they'll do this. They'll be like they'll do this 10,000, and then they sit down, right? Because if that frustrates the auctioneer because if you're gonna stand and compete, stand like go like this, like stand up, make your bid, 10,000 and then remain standing until they pick another number and then be seated, right? A lot of people have soft, super soft voices and then they can't hear and then they get pissed when the bid gets sold to someone else and they had a higher bid. You got to speak up. Like if she can't hear you, then that's your fault. Strategically sit in the front. I don't know what to tell people. Strategically sit in the front. Don't sit in the second to last row when you have a little voice and then get upset when you keep losing out on bids, which happened at this auction. Um, but that's just
11,000, 12,000, 13,000, 14,000, 15,000, 16,000, 17,000, 18,000, 18,000.
Now what you guys don't see, there's two people that are just pow 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 going at it for this property, and it was pretty cool because it's just like up 17,000, 18,000, 19,000, and it was pretty cool. And you see that a lot. You see that a lot.
200, 18,300, 19,000 now, 19,100, 19,500, 19,600 up front, 20,000 now, 20,500, 21,000. Any more? 21,500, Francisco. 21,500, 22,000.
Yo, when that auctioneer knows your name, you move weight or something. Yeah, I hate that's a good thing.
22,500, 23,000, 23,500, 24,000, 24,500, 25,000. Steve, will you have him on the shoulder and turn around? Turn around, please. All right, thank you. Come forward with your deposit. You could
So they're gonna
minimize the 25,500, 26,000. Now at 26. 26. How much? No, you're in 500s now. 26,500.
so after you hit 20,000, you can't bid in increments of 100. So from 1,500 to 20,000 is increments of 100. Once you go above 20,000, you have to bid in increments of 500. So that's what she was talking about. Once you go above 20,000, you have to bring it bid in increments um of 500. So that's why she made the comment she made about, oh, you have to bid in increments of 500.
26,500. Going once. Going twice sold. 26,000.
So they do what's called a three count, which is they'll say it again, 26,000. We got 26,000 going once, going twice, sold. And a lot of people say, "Oh, well, there's no three count." No, the three count is Rich is her saying we have 26,000. That's count number one. We have 26,000 going once. That's count number two. 26,000 going twice. That's count number three. So and then sold. So you do have the three counts. And if you're new, thinking you're gonna hear 26,000 going once, going twice, going three times sold. You're not. It's we have 26,000. That's count number one. We have 26,000 going once, going twice, sold. You know what I mean? So you do have your three counts. A lot of people argue that you just haven't been to the sheriff's sale enough.
500. Your name for the record.
And then they're going to ask for your name of the record. It's very important that if you want to put it in LLC, this is the time you have your LLC, right? You say it loud and clear and you boom. A lot of people get caught up because they'll say the name of an LLC, it's not been formed yet, and now we got a problem. I would say before you go to sheriff's sale, go ahead and create an LLC that you know you're going to use to hold property in, and just let that be that. That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? I don't recommend putting property in your personal name for just liability reasons. You know what I mean? It's easier to bankrupt a company versus bankrupting you and everything that's attached to you. So I always put my property, whether it's from a sheriff's sale or not, unless it's my primary residence, which I hate, but whatever the case may be. I put everything in the name of an LLC, and I highly recommend that you put everything in LLC. But I am not a lawyer, and I am not an accountant. Go talk to your lawyer and accountant. I'm just a guy trying to give you some good advice. Let's continue.
Francisco. Sir, Steve, will you add him on the shoulder and turn around? Turn around, please. All right, thank you.
Oh, I remember this guy. He just turned around and kept talking. Like he didn't give his name, whatever, and the lady was trying to get his attention. I didn't like him.
You come forward with your deposit. You could minimize the talking, it would be appreciated. We're on grid number 7.
That's why she made the comments she made about minimizing the talking. Like, shut the F up. Let's get this done so we can all get out of here. A lot of these delays is because people just don't know what they're doing. So she has to keep pulling the crowd back on track.
5017 Florence Avenue, postponed to February.
So you see me lose it a lot of times in this video because, you kind of sometimes you'll see 20, it's 5, 10, 15, 20 properties go by. Then the one that you want comes up and then it's postponed. All right. Okay, cool. It's what can you do? So you'll see me like just lose it a lot of times, and here's one of them.
Grid number 4711 Germantown Avenue,
91.
postponed to March.
So my brother is so sharp. Like this is the first time I brought him out, and he was right on it because the question he asked me was, "What's your next one?" And I think that's when I told him 91. Again, we already know that the book number is 1801, so the conversation we're having is only on a writ number. I'm gonna show you guys one more time what I'm talking about. So this is the book. This is the book right here, and this is over. I'm sorry. This is the book right here. And then over here is the writ number. The book is only telling you the date it hit the market, and then the writ number is the catalog of it. There are multiple book numbers and there are multiple writ numbers, but when you pair them up, there's only one number. So you always have to have the book and the writ combined, right? So he asked me what's the number. I think I told him 91 or 92, I don't remember, but that's because we already know that the category that they're on is 1801. A bulk of sheriff sales are going to be 1801 because they're going to really quickly go over what was, whatever is coming up from other auctions. They're going to go over that, and then they're going to jump right into the meat of the event, which is 1801. So we already knew this is what's next for us. So that's why he asked me what's next, because he's doing a good job of making sure I don't miss it, or what the case may be.
Grid number 81.
That's only next month, though.
2614 Garrett Street is State. Grid number
Oh,
82. 40.
so he mentioned something.
32 West Gerard Avenue, State.
So she's mentioned stayed,
Grid number 80.
and that was another one. I think that was what the second one that I missed. I think it was 82. So what does it mean when something is stayed? Let's go back to my. Is there a way to make this bigger? Of course there is. Of course there is. So now how do we move over? Okay, here we go. I don't. That's for February. I'm showing y'all the goods, man. Showing y'all the goods. So stayed, right? We have one of my properties that was stayed, and stayed just means that the person that was now delinquent on their taxes for whatever reason has now came to some type of agreement to halt the payment or to halt the sale or to permanently stop the sale from happening. Now, there is talks about people that have had things stayed that came back to the sheriff, so I believe it, and there's been talks that people have had things stayed and then it's never come back. I believe both stories. And what I don't do is I don't waste my time on hunting down stays. If it stayed, like to me, it's just like boom, that's gone, right? I focus more on the postpones and what's new that's coming. What's the new inventory coming for the next sale? That's what I do. But all stayed means is that the seller or the owner of the property has come to some type of agreement that the city of Philadelphia has accepted, or they've paid off whatever they owe, and or a portion of it, or whatever however you want to word it. But they did something where now Philly's not selling the house anymore. You know what I mean? And maybe it might come back, maybe it'll never come back. But as far as I'm concerned, as soon as I hear a property is stayed, it don't mean nothing to me. It's broke my heart. I don't want to hear about it. Be gone. Look at this note. Ugo's favorite. You know, this was one of my favorite places. How dare they stay? I was so disappointed. Um, love our efforts, but hey, it is what it is. It comes with the territory, so.
12025 Glenfield Street in State. Grid number 84, 6143 Glenmore Avenue. Open bids 1,500. Can I get any more? 1,600. 2,000.
So you hear the open bid is 1,500 and someone does 1,600. I always do 1,600. It is what it is.
4,000.
And then now it's at 5,000.
5,000. 6,000.
Now it's at 6,500.
500. 7,000. 7,000.
Now it jumped to 7,000.
7,500. 7,500. I have that. 7,600. 8,000 Moshi. 8,100. 8,200. 8,100. 13,500.
They're at 14,000.
500. Your name for the record. Moshi, thank you. 13,500. Your name for the record. 2,700. Property was deemed unsafe.
Oh, let's listen to the unsafe one.
6,100. 6,100 going once, going twice sold. 6,100. Your name.
So you could pick up property for 6,000, 7,000. You know what I mean? Just make sure you go through the property, you walk through it, and you check it out first.
AHN Properties. Thank you. Grid number 86. 6321 North Pratt Street, postponed to February. Grid number 87. 1366 East Haines Street. This property was deemed unsafe.
So when a property is deemed unsafe, um, it just means exactly what it is. There's maybe structural issues, the roof is gone, the staircase is caved in, the floor is unsafe to walk on, and they just do that to let you know, like, yo, if you buy this, understand that you gotta stabilize it first and then do work. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of times where I see that a property is unstable is really the flooring is just sucky. I mean, the floor is just jacked up, so you got to come in, demo, redo the joist, whatever the case may be, or maybe not demo, but I would demo because if the floor is already jacked up like that, whatever, just redo the joist. So I think that's great that they do that because then you already know maybe you got off the bat you got to drop 10 grand for new flooring, basement, second for main and second floor. Who knows? It's good that they do that because a lot of times when you're going through property, you're not able to hop in and see what's going on or step on the floor to see if the floor is unsafe. So it's good that they do that.
Open bids 1,500. 1,600. 2,000. 3,000. 5,000. How much? 6,000. 7,000. 7,500. 7,600. 8,000. 10,000. 11,000. 11,100. 11,200. 11,500. I can't hear you. 11,600. 12,000. 13. 13,000.
14,000.
20,000. 25,000.
So several times I'll leave, right? Because one of the things I try to do is I try to network, right? I try to network with people. I try to, see what's going on. If someone picked up a property, I think, oh, that's good. I'm gonna walk up to them and say, hey, you just picked up a property. Is this something you're gonna fix and flip, or you gonna rent it out? I give them a card. I'm a real estate agent, so I'm saying, hey, if you're ever thinking about flipping it, let me know. I'll come through, let you know exactly how to lay it out and whatever you need to be. Some, design and layout consultation. I'll do interior staging and whatnot. I'll do HD videos, HD pictures, video walkthrough. We'll do aerials if you want that. Whatever we gotta do to get it sold, just hit me up as long as you use me as an agent. All those services are free. So I'm out here networking, hustling, trying to do everything I possibly can. Or worst case scenario, maybe it's bigger deals that we want to partner on. Maybe there's stuff on MLS or Trend. If they got cash, I got cash. I'm trying to pull funds to do bigger things. Recently I've been trying to talk to people saying, yo, are you trying to get into an apartment building? I would love to syndicate 100 unit building or something like that. And you network because this is a room full of people that obviously got cash and they obviously are passionate about real estate. So this is a perfect way to build. I think what I'm going to do is if I was a wholesaler, I would go to sheriff sales and get everyone's contact information. Easy, easy business right there. So this is what I'm doing, except I'm taking that and building the real estate aspect of it, real estate agent aspect of it.
1,500.
And big ups to my brother because he's looking at my computer screen. What he's doing is he's looking at my list. He's focusing on with a book and a writ, and he's making sure I'm not missing anything that I wanted to put a bid on. And I love him for that because this was his first rodeo, and he caught on so quickly. I didn't even notice how sharp my brother was. Of course he would be sharp, man. We got the same genes, but like, how quickly he picked up on it was just so impressive, man. I loved him for that. So he was keeping me on track of things um, when things was going on. In fact, he had shot me a text message and says, "Yo, we're 3 houses away from something that you want to bid on," and I came dashing back. So big ups to bro, big bro. I mean, little bro, broski, man. There you go. And my brother. All right, let's keep it moving. He marked some stuff that stayed. I mean, I was going for a while.
14,000. 14,100. 15,000. 8,600. 8,700. 9,000. 13,500 back. 14,000. 14,100. 15,000. 15,100. 16,100. Up front. I'm at 16,100. 16,200. 18,100. Going once. Once. Going twice sold. $25,000. 2,500. 10,400. 15,000. 15,000. Anymore. 16,400. Going once. Going twice sold. Reggie, thanks. North Providence. 22,000. 22,500. Going once.
So right there, that was someone whose information I got. I got the guy's information in the front, and then the lady's information. It was a lady and her son, and like her uncle or something. I got all their information.
23,000. 7,000. 1,600. 1,001. 25,000. 5,000. 2,000. No. 30. 30,000. 6,000. 7,000. 10,000. Now I have 30. 30,500. 1,700. 3,200. 3,200. 2143 Steeple Street, 1,000. 51. 51. 69.
I
17 Spring Street.
so I just saw me stand up and bid on something.
April. Grid number 152. 2917 North Stillman Street, postponed to March. Grid number 153. 516 East Thelma Street, postponed to April. Grid number 154. 5451 Thomas Avenue, open and bid 1,500.
5,000.
You see me say
5,000.
so that pissed me off because I started with my opening bid of 1,600 and they came out at 5,000. And that automatically that should have gave me an inclination like, all right, this is gonna go past where I want to go. I already knew for this property I wanted to stop at 16 to $20,000 depending on the temperature of the room, right? Temperature of the room was entirely too hot. You'll see.
6,000. 10,000.
So it went from 1,500 to my 16 to someone's 5 to someone 7 to someone 10. So I was like, whoa, like it's too hot.
13,000.
13,000 from a 10,000.
I had 13. 14,000. 15,000.
15.5.
15,500. 15,600. 20,000.
So as soon as it hit 20,000, you see me sitting down because you already know, like I know, my brother knows, like we already know this isn't, this isn't gonna end the way we thought it was gonna end. And
20,500.
I gave the camera a look like, these people got some money, you know what I mean?
22,000. 22,500. 20.
And then it became like these two people going back at it, and you'll see in my numbers, Homeball sold for $46,000. So that's $26,000 more than I was even willing to pay for it. They got it. They got it. Um,
3,000. 23,500. 24,000. 25,000. 26,000. 27,000. 28,000. $30,000.
30.
30,500. 31,000. 32,000. 33,000. 34,000. 35,000. 36,000. 37,000. 38,000. 39,000. $40,000. 41,000. 42,000. 43,000. 45,000.
Same property.
46,000. I have 46,000 going once, going twice.
Sold 46,000.
46,000. Your name for the record. Natalie. Thank you, Natalie.
Good job, Natalie.
Please come forward.
Natalie got that one. I was not going up that high. I wasn't going up that high. And Natalie played me though, but it is what it is. Natalie got that one. So real quick, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? I kind of really went over a lot of the details on what to do if you're new and that you kind of have an understanding of what's going on with the serve. So updates to my spreadsheet. So what I did, let me open close tab. What I did to my spreadsheet is in the later version of the January. This is for January. I realized that the new dates don't mean anything to me. I don't really use it the way I want to use it. So what I do now is I deleted the new dates column, or I think these are rows, whatever. I deleted this J, and now on their sales price, if it doesn't sell, I'll just put the stayed on here, and that's just an easier way for me to take care of what I needed to take care of. So that's what I wanted to talk about in that one. And then it's property occupied. I don't know why that's there. We'll delete that. Oh no, I made a boo-boo. All right, we'll forget that one. And then review property tour videos. So let's go ahead and take a look at the property tour video and talk about what I do when I'm out here rolling. So I went out with my other brother. I have two brothers and they're helping me out and I'm very happy about that. And we just rolled around and we looked at properties. So I just want to show a quick clip of one of the properties that we here. One of the houses we're looking at today. It's pretty easy to see that no one lives here. Windows is busted. That window's busted. The door. So for me, I like things ugly. So the fact that the window's busted, they probably went and installed the copper. Perfect for me. Doesn't really have a doorknob, so it's possibly they got a squatter in here. This window down. I do like that Nextdoor is active. I do like that Nextdoor is alive and they're well and they're doing what they got to do, because that means that there's some type of like people want to live in this area, even if they're living next to an abandoned building. Out here is busted, so maybe someone went down there and all the plumbing is taken out, or just the copper, they reselling the copper. Top windows busted. Mainly why I wanted to shoot this video is to let you guys know, like, I'm not just talk, I physically visit every effing building. and it's annoying, which is why you see me lose my cool when stuff gets stayed or postponed, because I'll spend 3, 4, 5, 6 hours driving around looking at everything you see here. I've looked at every single thing. So we have 44 properties. I've looked at all of them, and this is the finalized list. So maybe we had 60 properties and I took off 26 of them because they just weren't something I wanted to buy, and then we narrowed it down to this list. So you got to do your due diligence. So this video is just, I go to the back. They have an alleyway. If there's an alleyway to this property, boom, I'm in that alleyway. I am in the alleyway, and in this situation is very helpful. Because what it let me do is I was able to look into the windows. I was able to see. You may not be able to see them to blow it up a little bit. Like right here in the corner, I'm able to see that like the back is falling off, and there is a structural issue. Can you see? I'm just get a better shot of it. Right here, like all of this brick is gone. All of this brick that's supporting the top of this is gone, and this bedroom like bump out is now starting to sag into the ceiling of the kitchen area. This is like the mud room or whatever the case may be for the kitchen. This was add-on. It wasn't this, and this is their add-ons. They're not originals. So that's something I knew that I would have to pay for, and just the amount of work, and this not even the amount of work, it's just the size of this. This was a 3-story. You got 1 window, 2 window, 3 windows. So I knew off the bat, like, man, I don't have the money on this, because keep in mind, I'm still working on a 4 unit right now. There's a 4 unit apartment building that I bought as my primary residence, and we're still going through renovations on that one. So to pick up that behemoth of a project and then to say that I have this behemoth of a project in a pipeline just wasn't something that my wallet was going to say that we can do. So I walked away on this property. I'll take it off on the list.
It's good that I visited this property. I know exactly what I'm looking at. Something like this is gonna cost a good $70,000, $80,000 to really bring back to where it needs to be. So that might, for me, right off the bat, this isn't something that I want to take on. You know what I mean? If I were to buy this wouldn't be something where I could afford to pick up and start working on right away. Just
Dude, I'm the realest shit that you'll ever hear. You know what I mean? I can't, like, I already know. A lot of people don't know, mainly because they don't visit, but I know, like, man, this is a lot of work. I can't handle it. You know what I mean? Now, let's say the property wasn't in, maybe the property was smaller and maybe not in as bad of a condition. Easy, right? Like to put 20, 30 into it, that's fine. I know that's cool because I know I'll get my money back in a year or two, but when I have to put 80 into it on top of buying it, no, because that means that I'm only going to flip it. That means it's going to be a flip, but my business model isn't something where I enjoy flipping. I like buy and hold. I like cash flow. This doesn't match up with what my philosophy is on real estate, and I don't have the money to even do what I do it the right way. Count me out. All right. So that's really what I wanted you guys to see in this video, is that I really physically go to these properties. Um, I'm out here. I do it, and I highly recommend you do it. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anyone that's above beyond going out and physically looking at these properties. One thing I will say is don't go out too early, right? So the next sheriff sale is on the 21st. I'm making that up. No, I'm not making it up. It's on the 21st, right? So right now, this is the 21st is on a Wednesday, which is weird. They're normally on Tuesdays. Or maybe not. Maybe they're all on Wednesday. So the 21st. So I probably won't start looking at properties until Monday, Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday is when I'll start physically doing drive-bys of properties, because if I look at something now, let's say I go out tomorrow and I look at stuff, there's a lot of time for something else to happen on the property. Not to say something can't happen between the 19th and the 20th if they're doing a sale on the 21st. In fact, something can happen on the day of the 21st. I understand that, so don't put that in the comments. But it's easier for me to get a better snapshot of what the most recent condition of the property is if I go within 48 to 24 hours of the physical property sale. Now, I don't work a normal job. I'm a full-time real estate agent and investor, so I have a lot of flexibility to say, you know what, I'll do a bunch of appointments on Sunday, and then I'll go light on, and then I'll go light on my days, or maybe I'll do a bunch of appointments on Sunday, bunch of appointments on Monday, and I'll take off Tuesday, Wednesday, and make sure that I look at all the properties I need to see, and then I'm committed fully to the sheriff's sale, and then producing the video for you guys the same day, something like that. That's what I meant to say when I say don't go out too early, and then work with daylight. So one of the biggest mistakes that I made, whoa, that scared the hell out of me. I almost messed that up. Let's go ahead and move that all the way over here so I don't click it again. One of the biggest mistakes that I made is that I really want to try and knock everything out in one day. And now that it's winter time, boom, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, it's dark over here. It's already dark. Like it's like, whoa, where'd the sun go? So I try to get started 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? So that give me 10, 11, 12, 1, break for lunch, grab food for me and my brothers. Then we back at it 2, 3, 4 o'clock. We heading home and that's it. You know what I mean? And that's a full day of work. If you have multiple people, and what happens, at least what I'm trying to create within my family, is I'm looking at half the list and then one of my brothers is looking at the other half of the list. So we'll meet up and go over the list and it won't only take us half as much time. And that's something that I think you guys should work on. Maybe if it's not with family, you partner with someone and you kind of chop it up that way. Money orders. So you can only do money orders, cashier's check, it's bank check, whatever. You can't do cash, you can't do checks. They don't do that. It has to be a money order. The reason that I do the reason I put BOA in the post office is because if we go to maps, let me show you guys exactly what the layout is like. Um, uh, So this is where the workshop is, right? Can I drop a pin here? Let me drop a pin here. Can I drop a pin? All right, this is where the pin is. We'll just do here, right? Bank of America is on somewhere. Where is it? Bank of America is over here. It's not too far from here, right? So what I do is if I didn't prepare properly, I'll go to Bank of America. I'll do a cash advance, right? I cash advance from my debit card, and I'll pull out 3, 4 grand, whatever I know. So if I know, and the way it works is that 10% of whatever the bid is. So if I know that I have $20,000 in the bank, right? Let's do 30. If I know I got 30,000 in the bank, that means at the very least I need $3,000, right? That means I need $3,000. So if I have to go up to 30,000, I got it covered. So what I'll do, at least what I did last time, I'll have 2 money orders for 1,000, depending on how much your people can push out, and then I'll have 2 minor ones for 500. So I got 2 for 1,000 and then 2 for 500. So now that way I can chop it up. You have to have this in advance. So I will go here and then I will drive my butt down to the post office, which is right here. Right? So here's the post office, here's Bank of America, and right up the street, here is the place. Like all within like a 10-15 minute drive, you get everything you need to get. So there's no reason why you can't do that. Or if worst case scenario, here's what you do. United Post Office, they charge like maybe $1.25 for money order, and they go up to $1,000. So that's why I get the 2,000, and then I get the 2 500s. $5 covers everything I need to do. I'm out. They're gonna ask for ID. You know what I mean? ID or passport or whatever, especially if you're buying in volume, big things, then you're going to do that. Then you're going to have to buy in volume, make sure you have ID or passport or whatever the case may be, make sure it's not expired, and then you're able to do that. If you're a Bank of America client, then you can get your money order from Bank of America, but I know that they charge. I know that they charge, so I don't know. But anyways, that's why I mentioned the Bank of America postcard. Now, my favorite is ShopRite. ShopRite does it for 75 cents. Now, I don't remember what they go up to, but I believe they go up to $700 and they do 75 cents. So I historically have always gone to ShopRite. So now if I'm doing 3,000, um, I'll get what, one, two, three. Three will be 21. I think I'll end up getting five. So it actually breaks down to be the same dollar amount. Now that I think about it. Um, so what? But so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But as long as you have it, then it's good. And what I highly recommend. Let's see, money order, blank money order. Here we go. This is usually what mine look like. So what I do, yeah, from the post, this is usually what mine look like. Dude, I fill the hell out of this information. I write my full name in pen. I write my address in pen. And I put my phone number. If lost, call blank, blank, blank. I put the memo there. for a sheriff sale or deposit back into account. And you know what I mean? I fill everything out so that way if I drop my money order, it's really, it's kind of hard to pick up and do it, picks for someone else to pick it up and run with it. And some people go ahead and they write Philadelphia on it. And what happens is that the way it works is you should have a receipt. You should have a receipt. Um, Dang, none of these have the receipt attached. So you should have the receipt where if you go to your bank and you show the receipt, you're able to redeposit it even though it has someone else's name, even though you've already made it out. And the way you're able to do it is because they see that it's from you and you have the receipt. So what I'll do a lot of times is I will fill this mother sucker out so that when someone else comes to pay for it, and I'm not saying it's 100% foolproof. I'm just trying to figure out ways to make sure you guys don't get got. And that's one of the ways that I feel fuzzy deep down inside that at least I'm making it harder for someone to whatever. You know what I mean? Because I remember one of the first times I went to the sheriff's sale, a girl was just mad that she lost $600 in a money order. She just infuriated. She got so pissed, I think she ended up leaving. But and it happens. I'm sure it happens a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot going on. They scanning you when you come in. You know what I mean? And I can very easily imagine how someone drops it. No doubt. I'm sure it happens at least 5 times per event. You know what I mean? So, but that's it. That's all I have for you guys. Any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section. I will do my best to get back to it as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe. And if you guys want to see specific videos on specific topics, please request them. Please request them so I'll go ahead and make those videos. Um, and whatever you guys need, I'm really trying to make this video or this channel as educational and detailed as possible so that you guys are not going out there and you're not just noobs. You guys are educated, you're armed, you're lethal, you're dangerous, and you're about this real estate life. Hashtag real estate life. And I love it, you know what I mean? And really the benefit to me is that hopefully you get to a point where you need a real estate agent. And that's where I come in and that's where I benefit. And that's how the circle of life keeps spinning. All right, so any questions, comments, please leave them. Any questions or just any feedback, please leave it in the comment section. And like and subscribe. All right, thumbs up the video if you had value from it. And anything I can do to make it better, let me know. All right, thanks.